100 years Bantleon. We are proud and thankful at the same time to see today's steady and healthy growth. Responsibility, innovation, customer orientation, and sustainability characterize the understanding of values of the Hermann Bantleon GmbH with all its employees. I invite you to experience the significant milestones in our 100-year development. At that time, horse carriages transported the products of daily use from the city to the countryside. The brewery Zur Rose of the family Bantleon in Ulm was a transit and storage point for everything customers needed: milking and belt grease, hoof grease, washing powder, and many other things. The resulting flourishing trading company entered the mineral oil business in the 1930s due to the change from horse-drawn to motorized transport. As more and more mineral oil companies reduced their direct customer service, we had the opportunity to acquire major customers. This was also the case with the Ulm-based company Magirus. From that time on, we have been the flexible problem solver on site. In those days, Mr. Kiene, Bantleon's first application engineer, represented us. The construction of the new building in the Blaubeurer in Ulm in 1971 was another milestone with investments in additional capacities, as well as more quality and service. It was also a clear signal to our customers that we will continue to be a strong and reliable partner in the future.
Es war im Frühjahr.
In the spring of 1972, we received an inquiry from the company Aspera based in Turin regarding more than 1,000 tons of ice machine oil. To our surprise, as we did not believe in the quantity, we thought that there were 1 or 2 zeros too many at the end of the number. At that time, my neighbor worked at the Goethe Institute in Turin. I asked him to check if the quantity was correct. He reported the quantity is correct. We traveled immediately to Turin and tried to develop the product rapidly. Indeed, we won the tender and took home the largest order for Bantleon at that time. The interesting thing was that the order was verbally concluded with the words, "Basta la parola." Customer orientation also means to be present where our customers are. Therefore, in 1990, we invested in a location in eastern Germany. First, as a logistics base in rented rooms, and 4 years later, with the new construction of an own branch. At the beginning of 2000, we already had our first international partners in Italy, Turkey, Slovakia, and other countries. Already in 2006 and 2007, partnerships in China and the USA followed. In 2014, Bantleon's presence could be celebrated on all continents. The partner conferences at changing international locations are also an expression of our global strategy. In 1947, Lubrosol was launched on the market, a high-performance motor oil that acquired trademark and patent protection. Already in those days, it was listed as a brand lubricant in the fuel recommendations of some well-known car manufacturers. With the development of a special grease for the deep drawing process of metals, we could win Daimler in Stuttgart as a major customer, and at that time, we were the only supplier of this product. The special deep drawing grease was heated, filled into drums, and applied with a brush on the metal sheets in the production facilities of Daimler. It was the breakthrough of new ideas. In those days, Bantleon wanted to independently sell fuel in the countryside. The success proved us right. Already in 1961, we had a number of about 80 gas stations. With the move to the Blaubeurer in 1971, the corporate strategy, the expansion of industrial customers, was put into practice. The idea of a process chain from cooling lubricant through cleaning, preservation and packaging to on-site service has been successfully implemented. Today, Bantleon has a highly qualified research and development laboratory that is well prepared for the future. Well before the later following law, we focused on maintenance and servicing of the cooling lubricants used at the customer's site. This innovative service of the product resulted in extended service life and reduced disposal volumes. This paved the way for holistic fluid management, with important developments such as the digitization KSS Online in 2003. Today, our Bantleon service team consists of over 70 qualified specialists. In 2006, the new logistics center in Ulm North was completed with around 2,900 pallet spaces. Already in 2009, the new construction of a tank farm with initially 26 and today 39 high tanks went into operation. In 2012, the construction of a state-of-the-art cooling lubricant production facility with 3 production lines followed. Further investments at the location Ulm North will follow. Regular investments were and are backed by the strategic position of the shareholders. This allows constant growth and modernization at all locations. When I started to work with the company Bantleon as a young apprentice in 1955, I noticed that Bantleon had its own drum cleaning system. More or less every second or third week, a waste oil truck, a waste oil collector, passed by and took away the waste oil. These were the first thoughts on the subject of environmental protection. Later, there was further development. We installed tanks on the premises of major customers and delivered the oil in tank trucks. In this way, empty containers were completely avoided. At that time, it was normal for industrial customers to buy their lubricants in cans and drums. Again, we thought a step ahead. With the system to provide our industrial customers with tanks, the number of containers, complex handling, and the high transport costs were visibly reduced. The tanks were now filled from tank trucks, and thus the residual oil that usually remained in the small containers were eliminated. Based on this experience, a separate department, the Industrial and Tank Technology, was set up. At the beginning of the 1970s, a new laboratory with state-of-the-art equipment was set up in order to ensure quality and testable standards. Dr. Franke from the School of Mechanical Engineering in Ulm assisted in the setup of the first Bantleon laboratory and thus helped to establish reproducible quality standards. Cooperations with schools of mechanical engineering, technical colleges, and universities followed. We are, for instance, a member of the Competence Center for Hydraulics and the Endowed Professorship for Sustainable Management, as well as partners of a youth researchers competition. When the wave of certifications started in the 1990s, we were one of the first companies to be certified for quality and environmental protection. Today, the integrated management system includes numerous rules and standards of quality, environment, safety, and social responsibility. Sustainability means to actively pursue the objective of a livable world for future generations. The responsibility for environment and society is reflected in a wide variety of Bantleon projects. These include sustainable activities for climate protection, such as CO2 compensation through reforestation projects. The latest Bee project, Bee Future, as well as the co-founding of the industry initiative Sustainability, shows that we are taking our responsibility serious and make our contribution on a broad scale. An essential personality for the development of our company was Georg Schierle. As an authorized representative, he was the one who correctly recognized the signs of the times and pushed ahead the transformation to become an industrial supplier.
It has always been Bantleon's aim to use state-of-the-art equipment and to be pioneers in all fields. When I was an accountant, the authorized representative at that time, Mr. Schierle, promised me, "Mrs. Hornung, if you're able to calculate the total turnover of the previous month in your head without any mistake, then you will receive a calculating machine." The calculator was purchased soon and quickly became the pride of the whole administration. Even in the early days, it was a tradition to additionally reward the work of all employees in the form of voluntary company benefits at Christmas. At the end of the 1940s, a gift basket consisting of salad oil, curd soap, hard-cured sausage, and coffee was given. In the following years, mostly a voluntary Christmas bonus was granted. This did not even change in the crisis year of 2009, which did not even leave us entirely unaffected. Already in 1950, Hermann Bantleon imprinted the attitude of his entire company with a statement still valid today. A business is only a really good business if both parties are satisfied. In the mid-60s, the former apprentices Franz Schmidt and Engelbert Oswald were appointed to the management. In this role, they managed the company until the late 1990s. Healthcare, exercise, and vitality for each individual were and are important company pillars. The first football tournaments in the 70s were the beginning of a development which led 2005 to the introduction of an occupational health management, OHM. This involves joint events, such as the participation at the Einstein Marathon, health days, the joint running training, or keynote speeches on the subject of health. Training as well as education has always been an important pillar of our personnel development program. With the foundation of our own training academy in 2012, an important course had been set for the future. In 2017, the Bantleon Forum for Knowledge and Dialogue was festively inaugurated. Out of responsibility for the social challenges, our company in 2000 decided to get involved in social ethical projects in the long term. This resulted in many sustainable partnerships with social and charitable institutions. Since 2013, for example, various projects have been successfully implemented in Uganda, among other things, the water supply for schools and teachers' houses, or the construction of a kindergarten. History becomes future. In the next 100 years, we want to build and strengthen partnerships by keeping up our values and tradition, as well as with innovative process solutions. Sustainable success also means to take responsibility for the environment and our surroundings. Thank you that you were and are part of our 100-year success story.